Welcome back to Let's Play Resident Evil 6. I had to stop rather abruptly last time just because we were running out of time, but so we're going to leave off in the middle of the same cutscene, unfortunately. Anyway, so bomb carrying the C-virus has just hit the city, which is causing devastation, unfortunately. Alright, so that is the end of the chapter. And we got an A ranking this time, so kind of poor accuracy there. I think that's the worst yet, at just around 60%. 2 deaths, and about an hour and 15 minutes almost, and only 20 enemies killed, but I guess there aren't really very many here, so that still gets us an A, so we almost got an S rank. But anyway, for new titles or medals here, we put a BOW's hand into the microwave. That was from the Raskla Panja. Correctly executed all revolving action command prompts. That was with the plane, I suppose, and more importantly, the bus. Killed an animal. We piloted the aircraft, provided Sherry and Jake backup, agreed to fight towards a common goal, and thankfully we survived our initial trip to China. So that went pretty well. I don't want to make this video super short, so I think I'm just going to go over the skills in the game so we can discuss those a little bit. So I'll go ahead and end game here. And if you go into play game, and then you can go into campaign, and skill settings is where we want to go. And basically, when you are in this menu, you have your loadout listed here. So these are the 3 skills that I'm currently working with. I have firearm level 3, which increases my gun damage. I have defense level 2, which reduces the damage that I take. And I also have zombie hunter level 2, which increases the amount of damage zombies take. So every skill is listed in this menu, and there's some skills at the bottom that haven't unlocked yet, but we'll get to those later. But basically there's a lot of different ones that you can choose from. You can only have 3 active at a time on your loadout. You will get different loadouts eventually, so you can swap them out whenever you need to. But because I'm playing through the game fresh, I want things that are just going to help me survive and keep me out of too much trouble. So basically I've chosen the thing that powers up my weapon and keeps me from taking too much damage. So I actually have enough skill points to purchase the 3rd level of this, so I'm going to do that. And hopefully I'll take less damage now, because I am a little bit prone to getting sloppy and taking a lot of hits. So now that these are completed, you'll see that you can't purchase any more of that skill. And it doesn't have a value anymore on the right-hand side. But the other ones that you can choose from are all do different things. So there's a melee skill that improves your melee attacks. There's one that steadies your hand, so you can aim more effectively. There's one that reduces recoil after you shoot. There's a crit hit increase, a piercing increase, Jaguavo killer, which is the same as the zombie one, but it works on the other type of enemies that we haven't encountered quite yet. the zombie hunter one I have equipped. There's another magnification level to your scope. There's a quicker reload option, an option that gives you a powerful bullet on the last one of your clip, and the one that removes the reticule for the targeting, but it increases your damage. There's one that gives you some more combat gauge blocks, 3, and I believe you can increase that even more. And one that helps you break out from zombies' holds on you quicker. There's ones that cause enemies to drop more items. Speeds up recovery time. And then there's a couple of ones that work with the team member if you're playing alone, that will strengthen your partner's attacks when you're close together, allow your partner to give you some health actually once they rescue you from dying, which is pretty nice if you tend to fall into that too often, because they can give you some health so you won't immediately die again. The lone wolf one keeps your partner from helping you, which I find a bit odd. I'm not really sure what the purpose of that is. I guess it's just in case you wanted to try to do certain trophies or something like that. I guess you could use that one. And then there's these ammo increase pickups, so when you pick up ammo it'll give you more. And then there's these mystery ones that will only unlock with kills by certain guns. And then a few more that haven't been unlocked yet because we haven't completed the other campaigns. So you can swap them out whenever you feel like it. There's a lot of interesting options. If there's a level on them, that means that they can be upgraded to usually level 3, which is pretty nice. So you can get the hang of that. And the skill points, as you've seen, come from defeating enemies. They come in chests. They come in various campaign, those little boxes that you break. You can also get them from completing the Mercenaries, which is a mini-game kind of mode where you fight against like hordes of enemies, and they will drop them as well, so they'll carry over. The Mercenaries does have its own set of skills, but you can spend the points wherever you feel like it. So anyway, that's how the skills work, and you can experiment with them and see what you like best. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, I'm going to show off the special features area, which is the collections and cutscenes. The cutscenes are just replays of the cutscenes you've seen in the game so far, but it puts them in an interesting chronological order. So you'll see here that we have unlocked these cutscenes, and it goes in a chronological fashion. And collections is where we get our rewards, and I just got a trophy apparently, for receiving all of the serpent emblems. So when you get a serpent emblem, it will show up in the appropriate marker for the chapter and the campaign that you're doing. So for instance, the very first serpent emblem in the first chapter of Leon's campaign is in the top left hand corner here. And it basically is just a memo that talks about Leon and kind of explains his character a little bit. And then there's other ones that talk about the other characters in the game, or different groups. So FOS apparently is the Field Operations Support. I didn't know that. And then once you get all 4 serpent emblems in a chapter, you will get an action figure, which is sort of a funny thing. So it gives you this little character that you can play around with. So if you press various buttons, they'll do things. You can rotate the display with L. You can zoom with, well, L being the left stick, R being the right stick. You can zoom in and out. And you can have them play a little voice clip if you press triangle.
It's just like Raccoon.
And if you press square, it will reset. And you can also turn off the UI by pressing the whatever the button is in the middle of the controller on PS4 that I can't remember. And that way you can take a screenshot or look at it better, I guess, if you want to admire Leon's coat or something. But anyway, so as you can see, when you get a new Serpent Emblem acquisition, it'll put a star thing just indicating that it's new. So if you click on those, it'll give you some information about various things. I'm not going to read all of these just because I don't feel like doing that right now. You're welcome to pause and read them though if you feel like it. And I'll quickly look at the other action figures that we've acquired so far.
It's all my fault. I did this.
So that's Helena, of course. Oops, I accidentally exited out of that, so I'll just go back to it. And we have Simmons.
My job to prevent terrorist attacks.
Derek Clifford Simmons. I didn't know that was his middle name. And Adam Benford, who's the president of the US, who has no eyebrows because he's a creep.
I've always valued your friendship, Leon.
And so, as I said before, each slot indicates one of the Serpent Emblems that you found. So this first row would be Chapter 1, the second row Chapter 3, third row Chapter... or the first row Chapter 1, second row Chapter 2, third row Chapter 3, and fourth row Chapter 4. And then there's going to be a fifth chapter, and I can't remember if there's more... if there's other ones down here. I can't remember where those come from. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. Basically, you will end up getting Serpent Emblems in each of the different campaigns, and then they'll unlock these fun goodies for you to take a look at your leisure if you want to see what they do. So I just wanted to go over those things so the video wouldn't just end on the end of that chapter, because it was rather short, the area where I had to cut it. So I'll go ahead and stop the game now, and when we resume we will be in Chapter 5, the final chapter in Leon's campaign. So thank you very much for joining me, and until next time, play with your action figures, because they're fun. Play with the US President action figure. That is my advice for you.